Hey guys, how you doing today? All right, so today I'm going to be showing you guys how to do the slave cylinder modification. So right here is your slave cylinder. This is a 2.7 liter Hyundai Tiburon. So right here is your slave cylinder. You see two bolts. This one connected here. This one connected here. I believe some models is different. Some of them are 10 millimeter bolts and some of them are 12. Mine are 12 millimeter bolts. As well as you can see over here, there's this cotter pin and a couple of washers. And then right here is your bleeder screw. And then back here is your banshee bolt. Now, what the slave mod is, there's a spring on the inside of here. It's a flow restrictor. So basically why our clutches are garbage and they get worn out. Doesn't matter if you replace them or not. I currently just replaced my clutch. Right now I have an FX 450 clutch masters clutch with a Fidanza flywheel. However, I never did the slave mod, so I'm going to be doing it now and making a video because there is no video on it. And I believe it'll be helpful for everyone else. So the tools that you were going to need, any kind of pliers. These are just the ones I could find in my garage because I don't know where any of my tools are. So you're going to need pliers in order to pull that cotter pin out, or not the cotter pin, just the lock pin. And then you're going to need a 12 millimeter socket or 10 millimeter socket, depends on what yours are. All of the bolts on my slave cylinder are 12 millimeters, so this is all I need. And you're going to need a couple extensions. If you have a cold air intake, this should be pretty simple. If you have a stock air filter, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to take out the hose. You're going to have to take out the mass airflow sensor. There will be two clips on the box. You'll unclip those, take the air filter out, and then you'll see 3 more bolts at the bottom of the box. Feel free to take those out and it'll remove the whole box out of your way so you have room to work. All right, so first things first, we're going to take these two 12 millimeter bolts right out. All right, now that these are taken out, I want to thread them in just a little bit, you know, maybe 2 or 3 turns. The reason for that, it's going to be a lot easier for you to unloosen this banshee bolt in the back. You're going to want to loosen it. A little fluid's going to come out. That's normal. Don't worry about it. After you're done with the mod, you're going to have to bleed the clutch anyhow. Just make sure that you have some .3 brake fluid. So now that I have these removed, I'm going to go ahead and loosen up this banshee bolt in the back. Alright, so now that that's removed, go ahead, grab your pliers, and we're going to remove this little pin that's right over here. Also, what I do recommend is grabbing a couple containers, one being for your parts, and then the second one whenever you go to pull that banshee bolt, there's going to be a lot of fluid that comes out. Just put it underneath of it, and then fluid and a spring will come out. The flow restrictor will come out into there. All right, so now that we got that pin removed, we there's a pin that's right here. Just go ahead and push on it, grab from underneath, and this pin is going to slide out, and this is what's holding your clutch, basically your slave to whatever that's called. I forgot, brain fart. Just go ahead and throw that in your parts. Now we have these two 12mm bolts. I'm going to go ahead and take them out. Alright, there's your 12mm bolts, throw them in your parts, as well as this bracket. Go ahead and throw them in there. Alright, so now you should be able to pick up your slave cylinder and move it pretty freely. As you can tell, mine is already starting to drip a little bit, which is good. Alright. So I'm going to lift this up out of the way. I'm going to set my phone down for a second. Alright, so all I did was I placed this little container in here. Apologize about the noise. So I placed this little container in here. And what I'm going to be doing is taking this bolt out to get that flow restrictor off. This container is just here to, you know, kind of minimize the fluid that's dripping all over the place. You can either use a little container, some rags, newspaper, doesn't really matter. Alright, so I'm loosening this bolt, the Banshee bolt. Alright, I don't know if you guys heard that or not. So, inside of here, there's normally a spring which just fell out right there. That spring is what's garbage. That's what causes a lot of problems for us. That's why whenever you go to drive aggressively, you shift real hard, you're gonna get that slip in your clutch. So now that it's removed, just go ahead and put everything back together. I do want to note, there is a copper washer that's on here. Some of your models have two of them. Mine only has one. But you do want to make sure that you put these back on. If you don't, then you're going to have a lot of problems as far as, you know, your clutch will be leaking, the slave cylinder will be leaking. So like I said, just go ahead and put all that back together. Okay, that Banshee bolt is put back in. What I'm first going to do is go ahead and put this this pin and this bolt through right here, just so I can make sure that this stays in place. It's a little bit easier to do it this way when you're putting everything back together. So we're first going to start off by putting those back in. Alright, now that that's back in, we're going to go ahead and put those two bolts back inside the slave cylinder. That's what they do as yours for. Alright, so I hand threaded those in. We're gonna go ahead and tighten them all the way down with your ratchet now, using a 12mm socket. Also, don't forget, there's this bracket that's on here. This bracket has to go back on, or else these bolts will not go all the way back down. All right, now that we've got those on, we're going to go ahead and tighten this banshee bolt. All right, and that is that. There you have it. That is the slave modification for 03 to 08 Hyundai Tiburons. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys need any other help, feel free, post a comment on any other videos that you may need help with. I am going to be posting another video shortly after this one that's explaining how to bleed a clutch. All right, guys, until next time, have a good one.